Have you ever wondered if people who speak different languages actually think differently? Imagine your thoughts are like colors, and your language is the palette you use to paint with them. Could some people have more shapes than others to paint with? This question lies at the heart of psycholinguistics, the study of how language and the mind interact. Today, together, we'll explore the fascinating connection between language, thought, and culture, and discover whether the language shapes the way we see the world.
Before we begin, let's clarify some important terms. Language refers to structure, system, or words and rules that allow us to communicate. Thought involves our personal processes or reasoning, imagining, and making sense of the world. Culture encompasses the beliefs, values, and traditions that define a society, and the field of psycholinguistics explores the interplay among these three elements. It investigates whether language influences our thinking or if it merely reflects our existing knowledge and beliefs. By examining these relationships, we can gain insight into how language shapes our thoughts and how our culture background impacts our communication. This understanding is crucial for understanding human interaction and connection.
According to Steinberg and Scherini, there are four main theories about how language and thought are connected. Behaviorists once believed that thinking was just silent speech, but research shows this is false. People who can't speak, like those who are muted or paralyzed, still can think perfectly well. Some linguists, like Safir and Worf, argued that we can't think without words. However, cases like Helen Keller, who reasoned long before she learned language, prove otherwise. This is the famous Sapir and Whorf hypothesis, the idea that the language we speak influences how we see the world. According to this, language determines culture and beliefs. But if that were true, every English speaker would share the same opinions, and we clearly don't.
Let's look at some fascinating examples from research. First of all, the Dani people of New Guinea have only two color words, one for light and one for dark. Yet they can still recognize all the colors that we see. In contrast, in this hand, Russian speakers have two distinct words for light blue and dark blue, and they identify shades of blue slightly faster than English speakers do. So, language can influence attention, but it doesn't change perception itself. And then there are the Inuit, who have many words for snow, for example, not because they perceive snow differently than they usually do, but because snow is essential to their lives. In other words, language reflects our needs, not our limits.
Other studies also show how language and culture interact. For instance, we have the Piraha people of the Amazon. They have almost no number words. They can still estimate and reason quantity, proving that thought doesn't depend on language. And consider the bilingual speakers. They switch between languages every day without becoming different people. Instead, they show greater cognitive flexibility, the ability to see problems from multiple perspectives. So, even when we speak more than one language, our wake core of thinking remains unified.
Okay, so think of language as a pair of glasses. It might color how we look at the world, but it doesn't change the world itself. So we can take off one pair and put on another, just like switching, for example, between language. So much modern psycholinguistic agree that thought is independent, really independent of language. We think first and then we use words to express those thoughts. As Steinberg Arciani say, language depends on thought, not the other way around.
So, does language shape the way we think?
Maybe a little, but not completely. Language is more like a mirror. It reflects our thought and our culture, but it doesn't build them.
It is a bridge between minds, not a cage that traps ideas.
And perhaps the real power of language isn't in shaping how we think, but in helping us share our thoughts with others. If language is only one of our tools for thinking, what other tools might we discover next?